The Arthurian legends provide a rich tapestry of relationships and dynamics that effectively illustrate the principles of triadic logic patterns. These stories are not just epic tales of heroism and betrayal, they also embody complex interdependencies and influences among characters. Indeed, a closer look at the stories in the context of the 22 homeostatic logical patterns that can exist between three objects makes it clear that the stories were a vessel for preserving and teaching the understanding of these intricate logical relationships. 1. A coexistence. In the legend, King Arthur, Queen Guinevere, and Sir Lancelot have deeply intertwined lives. Arthur, as the king, marries Guinevere, making her the queen. However, Guinevere falls in love with Sir Lancelot, Arthur's most trusted knight and friend. This love triangle causes significant tension and eventually contributes to the downfall of Camelot. The relationship between these three characters is mutually influential, with each bond affecting the others profoundly, encapsulating the theme of coexistence. 1. Equilibrium. Mordred, Morgana, and Arthur represent forces in constant opposition, creating a balance of power that maintains the story's tension. Mordred, Arthur's illegitimate son, and Morgana, his half-sister, both seek to overthrow him, driven by their own grievances and ambitions. Arthur's efforts to maintain his kingdom and thwart their plots keep the equilibrium. The enmity among these characters sustains a delicate balance, where the removal of one would disrupt the entire dynamic. 2. A reinforcement. Arthur relies heavily on Merlin's wisdom and magical abilities to guide his reign and make crucial decisions. Merlin, in turn, often focuses on organizing and empowering the Knights of the Round Table, ensuring they are a formidable force to support Arthur's rule. The Knights, led and inspired by Arthur, perform heroic deeds and protect Camelot. This triad shows how each member reinforces the others, creating a strong foundation for Arthur's reign. 2. Feedback. The betrayal and conflict among Mordred, Lancelot, and Arthur create a destructive feedback loop. Lancelot's affair with Guinevere weakens Arthur's authority and trust, making it easier for Mordred to challenge Arthur's rule. Mordred's rebellion against Arthur is partially fueled by the chaos resulting from Lancelot and Guinevere's actions. Arthur's resulting instability further impacts Lancelot, creating a continuous cycle of mutual influence and downfall. 3. A Causal. Arthur's acquisition of Excalibur symbolizes his rightful sovereignty and strength as a ruler, directly leading to the prosperity of Camelot. The magical sword not only legitimizes Arthur's rule, but also empowers him to protect and expand his kingdom. The prosperity and stability of Camelot are thus causally linked to Arthur's possession of Excalibur, and without Arthur, the unified and thriving Camelot would not exist. 3. Reversion. The relationships among Guinevere, Lancelot, and Arthur are such that the absence of loyalty or love in one impacts the others negatively. If Lancelot is not loyal, Arthur's power weakens, and without Guinevere's love, Lancelot's loyalty falters. Conversely, Lancelot's support can significantly uphold Arthur's power. This triad demonstrates how betrayal or support from one character can lead to the reversion or reinforcement of the entire group's dynamics. 4. A nonlinear Merlin's guidance is essential for Arthur's growth and success as a king. Arthur's decisions and actions, influenced by Merlin, often impact Morgana, who opposes him. Morgana's reactions and schemes are frequently in response to Arthur's rule, which is strengthened by Merlin's counsel. Without Merlin, Arthur's ability to govern effectively is compromised, demonstrating the non-linear relationship among these three characters. 4. Retrospective. The conflict between Mordred and Arthur is often influenced by the support of the Knights of the Round Table. If Mordred is not present, Arthur's rule is more secure, and the support of the Knights helps suppress any rebellion. Without the Knights' backing, Mordred's challenge to Arthur's throne is weakened. This triad highlights how the absence or presence of one character retrospectively influences the other's positions and actions. 5. Inclusive. Arthur's marriage to Guinevere influences the prosperity and unity of Camelot. Guinevere's presence and role as queen contribute to the court's stability and Arthur's legitimacy. The thriving state of Camelot, in turn, reflects positively on both Arthur and Guinevere, showing how the inclusiveness of their relationship benefits the kingdom. This triad exemplifies how their interconnected roles sustain the realm's prosperity. 5N exclusive. The antagonistic relationship among Mordred, Arthur, and Guinevere demonstrates how exclusion affects them. Without Guinevere's support, Arthur is weakened, making it easier for Mordred to challenge him. The lack of Guinevere's betrayal minimizes Mordred's threat to Arthur's rule. The combined downfall of Arthur and Guinevere ultimately neutralizes Mordred's ambitions. This triad shows the exclusivity and dependency among the characters in their negative interactions. 6A Conjoined. Arthur's leadership ensures the loyalty of Lancelot and the prosperity of Camelot. Lancelot's valor and support are crucial for Arthur's military and political strength. The stability and prosperity of Camelot depend on both Arthur's rule and Lancelot's contributions. This triad illustrates how Arthur's, Lancelot's, and Camelot's fates are conjoined, with each depending on the others for success and stability. 6N bottlenecked Morgana's power and influence are significantly impacted by the presence of both Arthur and Merlin. If both Arthur and Merlin are absent or defeated, Morgana's schemes are more likely to succeed. Conversely, Morgana's downfall affects Arthur and Merlin's ability to maintain order in Camelot. This triad shows how the combination of Arthur and Merlin acts as a bottleneck to Morgana's ambitions. 7. A harmonic. The harmonious relationships among Arthur, Guinevere, and Lancelot contribute to their individual strengths. The bond between Arthur and Guinevere bolsters Lancelot's loyalty and valor. The alliance between Arthur and Lancelot provides Guinevere with protection and support. The romantic and chivalric connection between Guinevere and Lancelot ultimately strengthens Arthur's rule, demonstrating the harmonic interdependence among them. 7N dissonant. The antagonistic relationships among Mordred, Arthur, and Lancelot create a dissonant triad. The absence of Lancelot destabilizes Arthur's rule and emboldens Mordred's rebellion. Without Mordred's opposition, Arthur and Lancelot's partnership would be more effective. Arthur's fall impacts both Lancelot's loyalty and Mordred's ambitions. This triad exemplifies how the dissonance among them leads to mutual detriment. 8. A convergent. Arthur's leadership unites Lancelot and the Knights of the Round Table. Lancelot's loyalty and prowess benefit both Arthur and the collective strength of the Knights. The Knights' support reinforces Arthur's authority and Lancelot's valor. This triad demonstrates the convergent relationships where each member's actions and strengths amplify the others, leading to a unified and powerful Camelot. 8N divergent. The absence or downfall of Arthur, Morgana, or Mordred significantly impacts the others. Without Arthur and Morgana, Mordred's challenge weakens. The lack of Arthur and Mordred undermines Morgana's schemes. Without Morgana and Mordred, Arthur's rule faces fewer threats. This triad illustrates the divergent relationships where the removal of one character disrupts the balance among the others. 9. A combination. Arthur's possession of Excalibur, Merlin's counsel, and the unity of Camelot are interdependent. Arthur, without Excalibur, relies heavily on Merlin's wisdom. Merlin's influence is crucial unless Arthur wields Excalibur. Excalibur's power is significant, but without Merlin's guidance, its full potential might not be realized. This triad shows the combination of their strengths and dependencies, each compensating for the other's weaknesses. 9N division. The relationships among Guinevere, Lancelot, and Arthur are marked by division and betrayal. Guinevere's affair with Lancelot undermines Arthur's rule, leading to Lancelot's isolation. Lancelot's actions without Guinevere's support weaken Arthur's position. Arthur's inability to maintain Lancelot's loyalty isolates Guinevere. This triad highlights the divisive interactions where betrayal and isolation are prominent. 3. Association. Arthur's leadership, the Knights' loyalty, and Camelot's prosperity are associated closely. The Knights without Arthur rally around Camelot's ideals. Without Camelot's stability, the Knights depend more on Arthur's guidance. The alliance of Arthur and Camelot strengthens the Knights' unity and purpose. This triad shows how their associations reinforce each other, maintaining a strong and unified kingdom. 10NN disassociation. Mordred's rebellion, Guinevere's betrayal, and Lancelot's loyalty are marked by disassociation. Mordred, without Guinevere's support, finds it harder to undermine Arthur. Guinevere's isolation without Mordred's influence affects Lancelot's loyalty. Lancelot without Guinevere and Mordred's schemes stands alone in his loyalty to Arthur. This triad illustrates the disassociation and its impact on their actions and alliances. 11. Integration. Arthur's reliance on Merlin and the power of Excalibur are integral to his rule. Arthur's dependence on Merlin's counsel is crucial unless Excalibur is present to assert his authority. Excalibur's strength aligns with Merlin's wisdom unless Arthur is absent. The combination of Arthur's leadership and Excalibur's power amplifies Merlin's influence. This triad demonstrates the integrated dependencies and strengths among them. 11. Disintegration. The antagonistic dynamics among Morgana, Mordred, and Arthur lead to disintegration. Morgana's plots against Arthur destabilize Camelot if the knights are absent. The destruction of Camelot impacts Arthur's authority without the knights' support. The absence of the knights undermines both Arthur's rule and Camelot's stability. This triad highlights the disintegration of their relationships and the resulting chaos. The relationships among characters such as Arthur, Guinevere, Lancelot, Merlin, Morgana, and Mordred exemplify various logical patterns like coexistence, equilibrium, reinforcement, feedback, and causality. By analyzing these relationships, one can see how positive and negative influences play out in interconnected scenarios, making abstract logical concepts more tangible. The compelling narratives and emotional stakes involved in these legends engage learners more effectively than abstract examples might. The drama of love, loyalty, betrayal, and ambition provides a memorable context for understanding how different elements can influence each other in complex ways. The diversity in the types of relationships, from supportive alliances to antagonistic conflicts, covers a broad spectrum of logical patterns. This variety ensures that each logical pattern can be illustrated with multiple examples, reinforcing understanding through repetition in different contexts. The legends of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table are steeped in historical and cultural significance. Using these stories to teach logic not only helps in understanding logical patterns, but also enriches learners' appreciation of literature and history, providing a multifaceted educational experience. Beyond logic, these stories often explore moral and ethical dilemmas. Analyzing these dilemmas through the lens of logical patterns can deepen learners' understanding of both logic and ethics, showing how decisions and their consequences are interconnected. In conclusion, the Arthurian legends serve as a powerful tool for teaching triadic logic due to their rich narrative complexity and the clear, diverse examples of logical relationships they provide. By engaging with these stories, learners can gain a deeper, more intuitive understanding of logical patterns, enhancing their ability to analyze and understand interdependent systems in both literature and real-life contexts.